Joy Hurcombe, now National Vice Chair of Labour C&D. She was an activist in Worthing Solidarity during the miners' strike. She organised collections of money, food and toys, made links between our local communities and pits in Yorkshire, Wales and Kent, and fostered relationships to this day. And for that work she received a replica miner's lamp, which I see she's brought along in recognition of the work that she did. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Joy.
It's okay, I'm not going to sing. Well, there's two parts really to the work that I have fond memories of. And I think I just wanted to share what we did in Worthing first. Well, Worthing. You don't expect Worthing to do very much, but in fact we had a miners' solidarity campaign, and my husband always says, throw some of your papers away, and it's good about it, because this is one of the original leaflets that we had outside the supermarkets, fighting for food and money. And the miners were fighting for their jobs, for their children, their communities, their youth, and our coal industry. And our message was, don't let them starve. And even in Worthing, I like saying that because in Worthing you don't expect thousands of pounds was collected. We had two very memorable meetings, one was with Dennis Skinner, and I got a quote from the paper, and I really wanted to share this with you. Dennis Skinner never fails to mix humour and reality. There are lots of reasons why we know we are winning. For one thing, vicars are now joining our meetings, and vicars always join the winning side. You remember Dennis Skinner was thrown out for insulting Thatcher, and thrown out of the Commons. And when I was asked to withdraw, it was like asking me to bow before the pit manager. Of course, remember, he is minor. We are not made like that. We are never going to surrender. So I opted for an early bath. Dennis Skinner, one of the stalwarts of the miners' struggle and the Labour Party, still there, still giving them grief in the House of Commons. And he said also, which is kind of why I referred to earlier, we are on the move. When you start shifting them in Bournemouth and Worthing, there's not much else left. So Worthing did support the miners. The other very wonderful meeting was when Tony Benn came to Worthing. It was a terrible day. It was January, and the snow had fallen, there was ice on the road, and many of the trains were cancelled. But Tony Benn, one of the things that he does, he never fails. He always turns up. And he came. There was a meeting in the Assembly Hall, packed meeting, and he spoke to that meeting and we raised a lot of money at that meeting. Also, we had women from the Pets Hangar and also from a pit in the Rhondda Valley at Penny Kyber, I'll save that name, but who came and spoke. And like you said, it was a woman who was empowered by the strike to come and support and to speak. Her name was Mary Davis, and she was a miner's wife. And we raised a lot of people's actual understanding of working class struggle in Worthing. We do have a piece of coal given to us from Mary to thank us for the money raised for the Rhondda Valley. The Miners' Lamp. This was given to us in Worthing, the Miner Support Action Group, because we thought, well, what can we do in Worthing? So I was given the task of organising a holiday. It was really funny because I picked up the phone and I thought, well, I'll phone the NUM in Yorkshire. And somebody answered the phone and I said, who am I speaking to? He said, I'm a miner from Kilnhurst. I didn't know where Kilnhurst was. It was near Rotherham. And I said, well, I've got 15 families. Could you actually bring down the wives and children for a holiday? And it was really funny because they filled a coachload of wives and children. I had to double up the amount of children that in the group. And we gave them a holiday for a week. They went to Butlins, they had a day in Brighton, and picnics on the beach. And they never forgot. One of the little lads said, when he got off the coach, he said, do they speak the same language? He'd not been out of Yorkshire. I kept in contact with the family that came to me. And this is one of the letters. Oh, I meant to tell you. When the morning the coach was going to arrive, and I had a phone call. We can't come, we haven't got any money for the coach. Oh dear. So, I went to the guy who ran the Worthing Labour Party building committee, and I said, can you please give us the money, the cash, today? He wasn't very happy with me. And ever since that day, and probably not now, but for many years, in the accounts of the Worthing Management Committee of the Labour Party in Worthing, it said loan, as in, loan to the Yorkshire miners of £200. Actually, the coach only cost £152, but we did ask for extra money for the families to spend when they arrived. And this is the letter from Irene Warren after 10 years. She wrote to me and she said, she called us heavenly angels because of the holiday. They never forgot. I don't know what life is like mistreating you, but since the strike, I haven't been the same person. At that time, the women came out in force and we really shocked the whole country. But you know, Joy, everything Scargill said has come true. If the Nottingham miners hadn't gone back, we would have claimed a victory. And we will never forget your generosity in support. And that was Kilnhurst Colliery Wives Action Group. And many of the friends still keep in touch with the wives in Kilnhurst, in Rotherham. I'm also here because, it's okay, it's only taken 5 minutes. I was the secretary of, and I'm still connected with Labour C&D, and the C&D supported the miners in their struggle because it's the same issue, many of the issues that Thatcher was concerned about and wanted to promote was to make sure that there was no opposition from any section of the community, particularly the peace movement. Labour C&D, I have to read this, I wrote it in 1984. Labour C&D supports the miners in their fight to preserve their jobs. and their industry against savage cuts by this government. We believe that the government is determined to ram down the production of coal in order to create greater reliance on nuclear power, thus ensuring that the plutonium for nuclear weapons is available for further escalation of the nuclear arms race. Reliance on nuclear power would not only create an increase in environmental and human hazards from nuclear waste, it is a direct attack on the role of trade unions and their right to effective protest. In a nuclear state, industrial action by miners or power workers could be ignored or forbidden. Labour CD condemns the heavy policing methods used against the miners and notes that such methods as arbitrary arrests, detention and surveillance of private citizens, border control of countries and the use of agent provocateurs are the tools of the police state. During their strike, the miners have made the link between their struggle and the aims of CMD, and they are joining us to demand an end to the nuclear arms race. That's why women from the mining community recently sent a delegation to Green Common to show solidarity with the peace camp. This government is trying to starve the miners back to work and to silence any opposition to their policies. We must not lose this fight. If the Tories succeed, the same tactics will be used against the peace movement. We will lose an ally in our struggle, and the nuclear holocaust will be a step nearer. And many of the things that we spoke about there are true today. Just to end, a lovely badge. Go home, McGregor. And remember or grieve, June 18th, 1984. Mines, not missiles. And a lovely one here, if the Tories had a song, they'd sell it.